Good afternoon, folks. Welcome to another episode of Boxing Rampage, episode 34.
Quite so, yeah.
34. I am your host.
34.
Yeah, it's 34. I am your host, JC. Today is Tuesday, July 11th, 2017.
Here is Flacco.
And today's today's episode, obviously, it's a different setting. We're doing it at different locations. Hopefully, we can one day we'll be able to go around the world and do it in other places. But today's show is we're gonna talk about the fights coming up this weekend with Robert the Ghost Guerrero versus Omar Figueroa Jr. Obviously, we'll touch on his younger brother fighting Brandon Figueroa as well, and we'll touch on the undercards as well. Obviously, Shawnee Monahan versus Marcus Brown, and Arthur Spilka, Jesus, versus Brooklyn native. These Polish names, man.
that I can't help you with, man. I can't pronounce
Jesus, his name is Kaunaki. Adam Kaunaki. Damn it! If you give me a good performance, Adam, I promise I'll learn your name. But anyway, and also we'll talk about the World Boxing Super 6 tournament for the cruiserweight and super middleweight. So what do you want to start first?
Wherever you want to start. I mean, I don't mind.
Let's just go into the main event for the Nassau Coliseum with Robert Guerrero versus Omar Figueroa Jr. To me, it looks not necessarily because they're such great fighters. It's hard to say who's going to be more victorious, but obviously I'm going to pick one here. This is the whole point of doing this. Do you want to give your thoughts first, or?
We're going to see. The thing about, all right, Guerrero, we already know he's on his way out. He got beat by a cab driver, by Aaron David Peralta. He got, in a fight that I thought he should have lost, which is Aaron Martinez, with Aaron dropped him and they didn't count the knockdown. But he haven't been looking good, man. Even the Danny Garcia fight, that one fight, he looked like he pressed the action, but then coming for the David Peralta's, and he looked terrible. I think that Figueroa is going to overwhelm him with all the punches that he throws. But then again, it's really hard to gauge where Figueroa is at right now, because he haven't been that active. But if we go to his earlier fight, he's a guy that throw a lot of punches and he just work a lot. He got a high work rate, and I think that could overwhelm Guerrero, and we could see like a decision, because Figueroa throw a lot of punches per round, probably 100 punches per round, if I'm not mistaken. But then again, we don't know what Figueroa is going to show up and what Guerrero is going to show up. If Guerrero that probably for Danny Garcia show up, it's going to be an interesting fight. If the Guerrero that for David Peralta, and he looking good on camp. Guerrero's looking really good in camp. I've been seeing his camp, but sometimes they look good in camp. But once they don't have it no more. And I think that his best days were at the a lightweight. So I don't know. I think I'll pick Figueroa by unanimous decision.
Figueroa. I feel the same way. Just different. Not like I said before. I don't think it's necessarily that they're both great fighters. Starting with Robert Guerrero, I feel that the best days of him, his prime. Not to say that he's washed up or that he's not a good fighter anymore. But the prime Guerrero at 135, when he was a boxer, he would jab you to death. He had the sick, piston-like jab. He would actually box you. Those days are no longer. When he moved up to 47, I felt that he started using his pretty much, I guess he was just trying to outwork you, outmuscle his opponents. Obviously, we saw the Mayweather fight as well. It just, I felt that he didn't utilize his skill as he went up in weight. And obviously, he's had some tough fights. I mean, between obviously he got his Mayweather fight, he cashed out. But between the Keith Thurman fight, who's the other guy he fought? Was it? I want to say it was Aaron Martinez.
Yeah,
he fought. That was a tough fight. I mean, he's had a lot of tough fights recently, and like I said, he's 35 years old. Age also plays a factor. The fact that I believe at this point in his career, He's not necessarily even looking for like a title or a title shot. I feel that at this point in his career, he's more just looking for these, payday fights just to stay relevant, to put himself in a position to land the big paydays. Really, what I see him as. That's really the position I see him in. So with Robert Guerrero, it's not so much that he doesn't have it, because he's been a great fighter in the past, but I just feel that to fight a guy like Figueroa, like you said, a guy who has a high work rate, punches a lot, and he's undefeated. Obviously, he has to break him mentally to have to take it from him. It's going to be very tough. But it's really a matter. I think Guerrero could pull this off if he has the mental willpower to overwhelm Figueroa. Not necessarily outwork him, Figueroa, because that'll be counterproductive. But discourage him from throwing so many punches. Pretty much put him in a position to where making it dirty, making it to where he uses his head, making to where he headbutts Figueroa, make it to where to where Figueroa won't want to really engage with him, and he'll just beat him on just effectiveness of punches, and just not necessarily punching him, but just landing the cleaner shots and just stealing all around. Moving on to Figueroa, I forgot the Japanese guy he fought. What's his name? I want to say Arakawa or something like that, but
look it up.
But pretty much he's been in battles as well, Fight of the Year candidates as well, and he has, like you said, high punch rate, which is very good. You got to work your opponent like Leo Santa Cruz type style. Very tough guy. Don't be fooled by him and his little brother. They look,
Kito Harakawa or some shit like that.
Kito Harakawa, okay. So pretty much him and his brother, they look like babyface, but they are babyface killers. Like, these guys are very good body puncher is Omar Figueroa, just like his Brandon Figueroa is showing the same thing. The thing with Figueroa that worries me the most is that he fought recently at Super Welter 54. This fight is being contested at 47, so along with the fact that he has to come down from 54 to 47, along with the fact that he's had such a long layoff, and granted, with a long layoff, he may look good in the gym, but the ring rust may come out as far as his reflexes. I don't know if he'll be thinking fast enough to deal with Guerrero. And I think, obviously, Guerrero's not the fastest fighter, but the fact is, you got to have your reflexes sharp to go in the ring like that. I don't know what... He's never looked bad in the past, but the long layoff and the fact that there's been rumors that, he hasn't dealt well with weight is a factor. But I can't judge what I haven't seen. So obviously I'm going to pick Omar Figueroa to win. I'm going to agree with you in this. I think that Omar Figueroa edges it by decision. And obviously the reason this fight is being put together, and if you look at the whole card, it's being put together because, and interesting is because the thing people are seeing here, there's going to be a war. Robert Guerrero, he puts great fights together. If you look at all the fights he's put together, obviously with Keith Thurman, that was, I think, the first fight on PBC, which opened up on CBS when they did it. The fight he did with the names, obviously the Aaron Martinez fight. Other fights he's had, he just gets into wars easy to where it's engaging Figueroa too. So they put them together because they knew they would mix and make something of that nature. Yes. So I agree with you. I think it's going to be Figueroa by decision.
It's an inside style fight, which we're going to have a lot of punches.
A lot of leaning in with the head and all that.
They've both been in Fight of the Year. Guerrero has been in Fight of the Year, and so have Omar Figueroa. So it makes sense to put them together. It's gonna bring in a fight full of action, full of fireworks. So expect none other than that, just fireworks and a lot of punches.